Hello and welcome to the audiovisual rendition of Disaster Recovery Plan for a Small Business, a how-to guide to staying operational. Running a small business means juggling daily priorities, but planning for disruptions should be one of them. A disaster recovery plan for a small business helps you stay operational when something unexpected happens, whether that's a storm, a cyber attack, or a supply chain breakdown. This guide walks you through how to build a plan that's clear, usable, and tailored to your business without overcomplicating the process. First off, let's look at what a disaster recovery plan for a small business is. A disaster recovery plan for a small business is a step-by-step framework that outlines how your company will respond to and recover from disruptions. It focuses on keeping essential functions running and getting you back to normal operations as quickly as possible. It's easy to assume it won't happen to you, but disruptions don't need to be dramatic to cause real damage. Even a few hours of downtime at the wrong time can affect revenue, customer trust, and team productivity. A solid plan helps you to reduce downtime and financial loss, keep employees safe and informed, maintain customer confidence, and even meet insurance or regulatory requirements. After the 2013 flooding in Larimer County, Colorado, United Way was quoted saying, "Small businesses are at particular risk as they often lack the resources to survive a catastrophic event. And when small businesses are unable to rebuild, the entire community continues to suffer. Jobs are lost, neighborhoods decline, and individuals and families endure further hardships." Step 1 is to identify your real-world risks. Start with a practical look at what could realistically interrupt your business. Common risks include severe weather like floods, tornadoes, or winter storms, utility outages like power, telephone, or internet, cybersecurity incidents, vendor or supply chain disruptions, and now most even include public health and/or safety events. After you've got that labeled, try to mentally zoom out beyond your physical space. Where is your data stored? Who are your critical suppliers that you need access to all the time? Do any of your employees work remotely? Many businesses miss these indirect risks, but they're often the ones that cause the biggest delays. Step 2 is to understand the impact through something like a business impact analysis and understanding what those risks you just listed out would actually cost you. A business impact analysis helps you map out which operations are most critical, how long you can afford downtime in your specific business, and what losses you'd face if systems go offline. It leads you to think through scenarios like loss of access to your building, equipment and system failure, internet and power outages, even potentially inventory or shipping delays, if that's a part of your business. Some impacts you may find are things like lost or delayed revenue, increased expenses due to things like rush orders and overtime to catch up afterwards, customer dissatisfaction, and missed opportunities while you were down. Check out this ROI calculator from our disaster recovery vendor for some help on this step at the link on screen. Step 3 is the one you've probably already thought about. Gather your essential information. When something goes wrong, you don't want to scramble for contacts or account details. Keep key information in one accessible place. Include things like employee and leadership contact information, insurance policies and provider details, vendor and service provider contacts, key customer contacts, banking and financial information, and off-site or cloud data storage access. You'll want to keep both digital and secure offline copies, if possible. Step 4 is to map out your emergency procedures. This is the "What do we do now?" section of your plan. Cover the basics, which may already be covered if you have employees. Things like an evacuation plan with exit routes and meeting points, and possibly even assign personnel to lead evacuations. Communication plans include how you'll contact employees, customers, and vendors, with multiple backup methods if primary systems fail. Backup and redundancy for your business data, with access to backup data, systems, and equipment, and even possibly up to alternative suppliers or service providers. You'll also want to include any critical systems, such as a list of software and tools needed to operate your business at any given time. Keep instructions clear and straightforward in these plans, because this isn't the place for creativity or complexity. Moving on to Step 5, you may need to assign roles so nothing falls through the cracks. Even a small team benefits from clear responsibilities during a disruption. Things like designating a disaster recovery coordinator, assigning roles for communication, operations, and safety, and identifying decision makers before you can't reach people easily to ask questions. This doesn't need to be formal, just clear enough that everyone knows their part and who to call when they aren't the one making that decision. Step 6, then, is to train your team and test a plan. A plan only works if people know how to use it, so keep it practical. Walk employees through the plan, run occasional drills, share quick reference guides with your team, and even try to prepare message templates in advance so that you can send communication out quickly when you have a million thoughts running through your head. As for testing, regular reviews help you catch gaps before they become problems. We typically suggest that you sit down with your team and review all plans for disasters at least annually to ensure that everyone knows what to do and to catch anything that has changed within the past 12 months. Step 7 is a recommendation to use technology to your advantage. You don't need enterprise-level systems to build resilience, just smart use of available tools. Helpful options include things like cloud storage for remote access to your files even if your office isn't reachable, automated backups to reduce human error, communication tools for alerts and updates both internally and externally, and even monitoring systems for early warnings of failure. Technology can keep your business running even if your physical location is temporarily out of commission. Check out our IT management services if you want to see our recommended strategies. Step 8 is to plan your communication strategy. Communication tends to break down right when you need it most, so plan ahead. Set yourself up with updated contact lists that include multiple contact methods per person and pre-written messages for different scenarios and audiences, like press, social media, emails to clients versus emails to employees. You may also want to delegate a designated spokesperson who is responsible to maintain contact for the company to manage all of this, because you may be busy handling the actual problem, not focused on keeping everyone in the loop. Lastly, don't forget to set clear guidelines for customer updates. What should they expect when? Have this labeled so they can rely on it. It might even put you ahead of your competition. Consistent communication helps reduce confusion and maintain trust, especially if there's a crisis. Anyone can do great in great conditions, but only the best can excel in the worst scenarios. Step 9 goes along with Step 3. Protect your records and documentation. Accurate records make recovery smoother, especially when dealing with insurance or financial claims. Preparation here saves time when it matters most. Best practices to keep this from spiraling into a never-ending mess is to go paperless where possible. Back up files regularly. Store copies of data in separate locations, like the cloud. Document equipment and assets with photos or video when you get them. And then also document equipment and assets that are damaged as soon as possible after a disaster for your potential insurance claim later. That way you have them if and when you need them. Keep supporting materials organized in an appendix of your emergency essentials for easy referencing. This makes it easier to find what you need during a high-pressure situation. Not sure what you should consider? The IRS has resources you can reference at the link on screen. Our final step, Step 10, is remembering to keep your plan updated and usable. Your disaster recovery plan for a small business should evolve as your business does. New employees, new tools, or new vendors all introduce changes worth capturing. A good rule of thumb is to review your plan at least once a year or anytime your operations shift in a meaningful way. It can be overwhelming to go through all of this alone for a small business. If you need some help getting started, the American Red Cross has a program called the Ready Rating Program. It is a free, self-guided program designed to help businesses become better prepared for emergencies. Check it out at the link on screen. As an added bonus, small business owners with 500 or fewer employees who complete an online self-assessment through Ready Rating are automatically eligible for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation's Readiness for Resiliency program too. We are also always available here at HBB Tech for anything you may need as well. A disaster recovery plan for a small business doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to be intentional. The goal is simple: protect your people, keep your business running, and recover quickly when something does go wrong. The more thought you put in now, the easier it is to act when it counts. Thank you for your time, and all resources for this video, including a transcript and slide deck of this video, are available at hbbtech.com/resources.